Hey, everybody joining.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm going to be talking about, we're in November now, and we got December, and then we got the beginning of next year. And all of these plans are for things you can be doing with your business. It doesn't really matter if you're retail, if you're in a service industry and you do job counseling or business coaching, whatever it is, like me, social media, web design, whatever you might be doing, you can use these tips for all of that. So what I want to do here real quick is to just get a little survey from you guys. Normally, forget COVID, but normally right now, would your business be up, or is this the type of time of year when your business starts fading off until next year? If you would just put in the chat, it would be up or if it would be slow. And I'm going to open up the chat and see what I can see here. So I see y'all writing in here. Great. Some of y'all do apparel. That's perfect. So you're probably getting busy, hopefully. Some of you slow down this time of year. All right, great. So that's just kind of what I wanted to see. I wanted to find out just exactly, was going on with you. My whole purpose for today is, even if things are starting to slow down, to think of ways to maybe get that last little bit of extra business out of 2020. It's been a rough year. My business actually has been a little bit up for the year, so I feel very blessed there. So I think most of us have learned that connecting with people online, whether it's selling online, doing these Zoom meetings online, have become essential for our businesses. And if you're in that, service type industry like I am, where I help people with their social media and I have to have meetings with them and I can't always meet face to face now, Zoom meetings, definitely more phone calls than I've ever done before, are very, very important. If you have a business and you offer services, you might want to consider, even though you've maybe never put those services online to purchase, you might want to consider putting those services online to purchase. And the reason being is e-commerce has increased 30% this year. And I think we're not surprised by that. You're seeing it more and more each day. What you might be surprised about is that almost 4.5 million people have actually become digital buyers for the first time ever. They've never shopped online until this year. So that's pretty amazing to me. So if there's any way you can take a service and get people to sign up for it and go ahead and prepay you for it, or prepay you for half of it, whatever you would entice them to do it, which we're going to get into how to make an offer and how to understand your customer a little bit better. Those types of things are very, very important to do right now. So what we're going to be looking at today, we're going to be looking at, creating a plan and how to get found with that plan. We're going to be talking, most of what we're talking about today is not your traditional marketing. It's all online marketing, which for me is traditional marketing now, and how to stay top of mind so that people don't forget about you during these times. The 5 tools that we're going to be talking about, and these are the 5 things that I was kind of getting to just a little while ago. What shape is your website in? Is your website, going to help generate business when somebody lands on it? Listings and reviews. If you caught me last Friday, I talked a little bit about listings and reviews. And listings are things like Google My Business, Yelp. Those are listings. Way you can find out, a lot of these companies like Google, if you've got a brick and mortar, Google probably knows about you. So you need to make sure you claim your Google listing. If you're in the service industry, more like I am, I have to tell Google I exist. They might find me from my website, so therefore they would know a little bit about me. But I actually created my own Google My Business. They hadn't created one for me. But before you go on and create a Google My Business, you need to search and see if you already have one, because Google might have created one for you already. They just need you to fill in more information. So you want to claim that address or claim that listing, Same thing with Yelp. You want, if someone might have made a review for you on Yelp, so there's already some information on you on Yelp, you want to make sure you claim those listings. And the key to claiming those listings is you want to make sure that all the data you put in is uniform. In other words, down to street. If you spell the word street out, you want to make sure that on every listing you do, you spell the word street out. If you abbreviate street, ST, you want to make sure you abbreviate it. You want all these listings to be as much the exact same type of thing, because Google gets very confused if in one street address you show a suite number and another street address you don't show a suite number. Google won't think you're the same business. So you want to be very concise when you're doing that. We're going to get into that more in a little bit. We're going to look at social media. We're going to look at email marketing. And we're going to look at content, how to create good offers and good content that you'll be making. And then the last kind of a bonus thing that I'm going to talk about is how to do paid ads to amplify your efforts online. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to prepare you for marketing for the holidays. We're going to look at how to execute your holiday plan. And then we're going to look at how to get into 2021, which probably most of us are ready to do. We're ready to be done with 2020 and look at a brand new year coming up. So let's look at how to prepare for marketing for the holidays. The first thing coming up, Black Friday sale. You know, maybe you're thinking, okay, Ken, I'm not in an industry where I can do sales. You know, like for me, I'm not going to knock off 20% off website design, but maybe there's added value offers that you can do if you're in a service industry that you can offer people. If you're in a brick and mortar, or if you have an online store, you should be all over these dates. And let's just look at them. Black Friday's coming up. Right after that is Small Business Saturday. And if you're not familiar with Small Business Saturday, it was created about 8 or 9 years ago by American Express. Black Friday, a lot of people think of that as the big box stores, the chains, all of that. American Express thought small businesses, shopping local, that's what we need to focus on. And so American Express came up with Small Business Saturday. And I know a lot of small business owners that really take advantage of that every year. One quick note is, if you wait till Black Friday to promote your Black Friday event, you've missed it. You want to start a week or so out, and we're going to talk about 3 different types of promotions leading up to Black Friday or leading up to Small Business Saturday or any of these events that you should be doing. Cyber Monday's coming up. You may be thinking, Ken, I'm not really a cyber type of business. It doesn't matter. You need to get those offers out there. You need to draw attention to your business, and I'll be talking about how to do that. Then you have Super Saturday. That's the last Saturday before Christmas. You've got Hanukkah coming up. You've got Christmas, and you've got Kwanzaa after Christmas. So all of these things are important dates that you need to be putting into your calendar. And if you, in that list that I sent you a marketing checklist for the holidays. If you use that link, download that marketing checklist, you'll see all these dates in there. Pick the dates that you want to work with. If you want to be really, go-getter, try to create different promotions for each one of these dates. So when you're creating your holiday offer, you really need to think about your goal and say your goal is, and a goal should have a number attached to it. Your goal might be, modest. It might be increased sales 5 or 10% over last year. Make it a realistic goal that you can attain. Or it might be you want to gain 5 new clients. That can be a goal. Now, understanding your audience or your customer is going to help you with that goal. If it takes you, say 10 conversations or 10 free, let's say you offer free consultations, it takes you 10 free consultations to get 5 customers, then part of that goal, if your goal is to get 5 new customers before the end of the year, your goal is to somehow or another get at least 10 consultations to help you reach that goal. If your goal is to increase sales, you know, 5 to 10%, you have to understand who your customer is, what they're buying from you, and what's it going to take to create or to hit my goal. How many customers are going to have to come in, and how many purchases are they going to have to make for me to increase my sales, 5 to 10%. So you really have to understand your audience when it comes to that. Let's look at the types of people that are out there that are shoppers. My wife used to be an evergreen shopper. She would start at the beginning of the holiday season and she would shop all the way through the holiday season. We've pared down, we're looking to downsize and stuff, so we don't go quite as crazy as we used to. But what type of shoppers do you have? Are they evergreen shoppers? Are they last minute shoppers? They come in and you're just, busy, slammed. And this once again goes back to also that business consulting, or if you've got some type of consultation service, maybe you're a CPA, do people hit you at tax time? You need to start looking at that. You need to start trying to hit them prior to when they're going to want to use you. You want to think ahead of time and be proactive instead of reactive. Are they deal seekers here around the holidays? If they are, they're going to come in on Cyber Friday and Cyber Monday. We have friends of the family. They used to get up, like at midnight, or if the doors used to open, like I think the earliest was like 4 a.m, then it got to be 2 a.m, and then it got to be at midnight, and now they open up a couple of hours, like around 6 o'clock or so on Thanksgiving. So whatever people used to do to make them that deal seeker, if that's what you've got, if that's where a lot of your business comes from, and once again that goes to if you are like me in the service industry, if people are always looking for a deal, whether it's on their social media, on their email marketing, they're always looking for some kind of deal. I have to figure out, I'm not going to discount my pricing, but I will add value. I will add consultations and things like that to help people get started, to help them with their social media, and to help them with their email marketing. If they're not using us to create their newsletters, I will help them get that first newsletter out because I know they're going to see good positive results. And then you've got the early birds. They're starting now. Some of them, they're out there shopping. They're out there already online doing things. So you really need to think about who your audience is. So we talked about figuring out your goal, understanding your audience, determining what customers find most valuable. I mean, are you relieving a pain point for them? Do they have issues with, certain items, and they're either buying products or services from you to help with that? You need to understand that. And then all of these things are going to help you create the right offer for them that are going to help you get more sales. And they don't always have to be these first offers I have here are all offers based upon price, giving some type of discount, whether it's 15% off new items, 20% off when they spend $40 or more. But the main thing is you can also look at dividing it up. Maybe that you give them 20% off or maybe you give them 10% off if they spend $40. You give them 20% off if they spend $60. You give them 25% off if they spend $100. You can come up with different price discount points. Something a lot of people forget about are their loyal customers. They're the ones that every time you seem to do something, they're in your store or they're contacting you. So if you've got good loyal customers, make sure you reach out to them and you offer them something special, something above and beyond, because they're going to take advantage of it. Here's another idea. I said you don't have to always spend money or give a discount. You can always add value. Give them a free gift. when they make a purchase over $50. And you can get different types of things online. There's all sorts of things. You can brand them with your company logo. There's nice thumb drives that you can give people that might have 6 gigs, 10 gigs, 20 gigs, whatever. You can brand them with your information. You can give them as free gifts. I tell you something that you can give as a free gift. You can give a YouTube video. Here's a great idea. Free gift wrapping. You can print out a little card and you can put it in every bag that people purchase, or if they purchase online from you, you can send a follow-up email thanking them for their purchase, and there can be a link to how they can wrap gifts. You know, people, I used to always struggle with wrapping gifts. I watched a YouTube video. It changed my life when it came to wrapping a gift. I was like, oh, I didn't know it could be so simple. I thought it was a very complicated, measure everything, cut there. Very simple tips. You can find those YouTube videos online. You can just link to them, just share links. Holiday gift guide. When I was in the music industry, for all of the record stores I dealt with in California, we had 15 stores out there. They would actually talk to the retailers up and down their street, and we would do gift guides that we actually physically printed. They started out as small gift guides. We ended up, the last gift guide I think was over 50 something pages, but they would distribute them up and down the street at the different locations. You can now do electronic gift guides if you have that ability to create those things. Constant Contact has some tools where you can create online shopping carts, and you can also create online landing pages. And those online landing pages can have 2 or 3 gift ideas on them, and they can click and buy directly from those landing pages. And another great idea that you could, if someone is coming into the store, or you can send out also in an email as a follow-up email, party ideas. We're all challenged this year with how to have parties, you know, or how to get people together. So Zoom meetings is one of the way we're doing this. I know some of us are sick of Zoom meetings, but I did a great fun bourbon tasting the other day, and it was on Zoom, and we all had a great time. I tell you, the conversation got pretty lively at the end. So we had a lot of fun tasting bourbon. So these are all different ideas. You could make a list of those. You can go online and search for holiday online ideas. Someone's going to probably written a blog. You can just share that blog of, you know, anywhere from probably 5 or 10 ideas that people will really appreciate you sharing with them. So when you're sending things out, this is an example of an email that might go out for someone in the service industry, and it's offering, you know, a consultation. And there's a button there that you can click to schedule now. Many of us are using schedulers now. I use Calendarly. I use that as my scheduler. It hooks right into my Google Calendar, and people can go on and schedule meetings with me. So if I'm offering a free consultation, they can go on and find a time to do that free consultation with me. You know, here's an idea that I thought was really, really neat. Bring a friend. If you've got that type of service where you do consultations, ask your clients to bring a friend. If it takes you, you know, 10 free consultations to get 5 new clients, by having your clients bring friends to their consultation and you kind of doing like a mini group consultation, that's a great idea and going to help you reach your goal. Networking online with other clients is another great thing that you can do. Online fundraising is another thing. I work with the Knights of Columbus, and they have been struggling this year, the ones, or at least our council is at our church, and they have been struggling with what to do because we make all of our dinners from, or all of our money from dinners and breakfasts, and we haven't been able to do any of them. Someone came up with the idea, what if we sell dinners online and they pick them up to go? And so we did that. We normally sold anywhere from 100 to 120 dinners when we had people coming in and sitting down and having dinners, and we would do that in about 2 hours. So we were pretty busy. We would stay busy. We sold 185 dinners online for pickup. So we didn't quite double, but we did a whole lot more than I was expecting with that. And it really helped us get back into the fundraising mode. So if you want to, you can partner sometimes with a charity. You can help them raise funds, for some holiday event, but you're getting your name out there constantly also in helping them. Think about gift certificates. Gift certificates are a great thing this time of year. So if you're in the service industry, maybe someone, you give all your clients gift certificates that they can share friends and business associates. So quick question. What e-commerce tools are you guys using already? Just tell me if you're doing e-commerce or not.
I'm learning Shopify.
Is that Wendy? Who is
It's
that?
Kim.
Oh, hey, Kim. Yeah, that would make sense for you. Yes, I think that would be great. Great. Just FYI, Constant Contact now hooks into Shopify. And if someone leaves an order in the basket in Shopify, it will actually send them, you can say 2 hours later, send and say, hey, did you want to finish your order? And you'll be amazed at how well that works in getting people off the fence and to go ahead and make the order. Anybody else using any e-commerce?
I use I'm on Squarespace, and I use I think it's called Stripe.
Okay.
And Square.
Very good. All right. And now tell me again, what do you do, Tawana?
For this business, it's a natural body product business.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Anyone else? All right. So when you're doing your online sales, and once again, it doesn't matter. Oops, sorry. When you're doing your online sales, it doesn't matter, what you're selling. Once again, whether it's a service or it's a physical product, you need to create that awareness. So creating things like landing pages are great. And Constant Contact, if you've ever looked at doing landing pages, it used to be such a chore to do a landing page. And if you had someone do it for you, it could cost you hundreds of dollars, if not 1,000 or more, because there's a lot of little components that go into creating landing pages. Constant Contact now has a new feature. It's called, when you go in there, you'll see 2 different types of landing pages, but on their newest landing page, you can actually choose from different templates, one of which is a shopping template, and you can put in your items right there and allow you to actually create a shopping cart just for a handful of items. So you might want to consider doing that and have that available just as a quick, even though you may not have a store yet, as a quick way that people can purchase a handful of items from you is by having a landing page. And how do you get people to that landing page? Your social media, an email blast, all those types of things can drive people to your to your landing page. So when you're creating descriptions, you need to once again understand who your buyer is. What will they be looking for in that description? And one of the biggest mistakes people make sometimes is they get a little too wordy. They maybe don't understand what their customers are really looking for. You really need to focus on the benefits of the product. Whether it's you're in the service industry, know their pain points, how you're going to help them with those pain points, and even pain points in physical products. How does that physical product help solve a problem for them? Make sure you include keywords in your description, because this is all text, it's all online, it's something Google can find. So you always want to make sure you have keywords in there. You want to avoid salesy, catchy phrases. You want to just provide good information in your description. Telling a story is much more effective than using a bunch of catchphrases and things like that. Use keywords like amazing, versatile. You see, that's what they did in this. And then also make it scannable. And what I mean by that is people browse over things rather quickly online. These bullet points here will jump out at you. And so they will see the key reasons why they should be purchasing this product because you have them bullet pointed. And that's a great tip that you might want to do, is do bullet points in your descriptions. Identify shipping and picked up options. If you've got a brick and mortar business, you've got to think about that more now than ever. People kind of have in their head a false sense of what's going on in your store. They remember your store when it was busy. They're afraid to maybe walk into your store and it's only you and them. They're worried that there might be 10 people in there or 15 people in there. So you need to give them the option of things like, yes, they can walk in, but what about curbside pickup if that's possible? Or what about delivery? There's different services that will deliver things for you now, or you can actually drop it off at UPS or something like that at a UPS drop-off point. So there's different ideas and different things you need to consider now if you've got a physical store of how to getting the products to them. These are some tools that Constant Contact is now connecting to. They're connecting to BigCommerce, more e-commerce tools, Shopify, WooCommerce. And once again, when you're connected to these things, Constant Contact, you can set it up to send out, trigger different things. Like I said earlier with a Shopify, you can have it send them a reminder that they left something in the shopping cart, and do they want to do that? And when they get that reminder, it actually has a link. If they click that link, they go right back to that product they were looking at. It doesn't just send them back into the store, it sends them right back to the product they were shopping for. These are all very powerful tools increasing sales. So anybody have any questions up to this point? Oh, all right. I will move forward. So up next, we just covered how to prepare your marketing for the holidays. We're going to jump into how to execute your holiday plan. And I think you're going to find this interesting. There's 3 things I like to do whenever I'm doing a promotion, and we're going to hit on those 3 things. But we're going to once again be talking about the 5 tools online: website, listing and reviews, social media, email marketing, and then content to get found out there. And once again, that can get back to your description. What you're putting in the list of your product or your services can all help you get found. And then to amplify that, we're going to be talking about paid ads. So here's a bike store. They changed what happens when you come to their website for the holidays. When you come to the website, the first thing you actually see is different from what you would normally see any other time of the year. And they actually have a Shop Now button that's going to take you right to bikes and things like that, or right to get that 15% off. So that's something to consider doing with your website. And this applies to all different times during the year. Do you have something special? Maybe you can create a little pop-up that pops up when someone lands on the site and tells them about something you currently have going on. Click here to get more information, and it takes them right to that page on the website you want them to go to. They don't have to look around for it. You direct them there. That's what's so key about the way this works. You see down here, it actually has their guide. So we talked about a gift guide. You can actually send them directly to a gift guide that maybe you created, your top 10 selling items or something like that. You can send them directly there. So let people know about your holiday offer. If you've got different hours, make sure you put those not only on your website, but other locations, in your listings. Make sure you change your listings for the holidays, in those different directories like Google My Business. You want to make sure that you have the most up-to-date information in there. And always encourage people to join your list. It's very important to keep building that list. You can always have buttons on your website, in your social media. You can remind people, join our list. Give them a good reason to join the list. Now is the perfect time. You can give them either a free or a added value offer, or you can give them 10% off, 20% off, whatever price point you want to give them if you're going to give them a price point. But that's a great time right now to make that type of offer and say, oh, to get that offer, all you have to do is join our list. So I talked briefly about Google My Business. Here is a Google My Business page, and you want to go through it from time to time, and now's the perfect time during the holidays, and make sure you're most up to date. Make sure if you've got extended hours that they're in there. If you have any, maybe you're not always open on Sundays. If you're open on Sundays now, that would be something you would want to include in there. Make sure you have claimed the listing. If you haven't claimed the listing, put your holiday hours in. Make sure your contact information is all up to date. And getting back to that, make sure you're using, when you're doing these things, make sure that all your listings have the same phone number. Don't put in a landline in one listing and your mobile number in another listing. You want to be consistent. I mentioned that earlier. You want to be consistent. You don't want to confuse Google. The more all these listings really represent your business, the more SEO is going to go up and the more better chance of Google sharing you with people. And then promote your offer. If you notice up here, there's a little save button. You can actually put offers in your Google My Business. So if you've got something you want to offer, make sure that you do that in your Google My Business. Social media can really keep people up to date. That's what they love about social media. You can't update your website every single day, but you can make a post on social media every day if you want. A lot of my customers now, I've gone away from every day. I'm posting pretty much Monday, Wednesday, Friday for them. Occasionally I'll post if something special happens on a Saturday for them. I'm not posting every day like I used to. Twitter, I'm still posting regularly, constantly. That case was more like Facebook and LinkedIn. I post pretty much every other day for most of my clients. But something you can tell them is what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe you've got a new product or a new service coming out. Tease it. Tease people. Tell them something new is coming. And maybe show a picture of a box being opened, but don't show them what's in the box yet. Create a little excitement and tease them. Later on in the day, maybe make another post that shows the box being opened and an item started, being pulled out, but they still can't tell what it is. And then on the next day, when the product is actually available for sale, make a big deal about it. Show it on display and put it in the store, or put a click now link to buy type of thing. If you want, create a Facebook event. People are creating more and more events online. Make sure you create a Facebook event to let people know about your event. I don't know if you're familiar with this or not. I know on your mobile device, sometimes you're at a concert or you're out doing something. Back when we could do that type of thing, you would click a geotag, or you would say, I'm at this location, because when you're making a post and you've got your phone, it's going to say where you're at, and you can actually choose that location. You can do that also when you're doing, you're doing some type of an event. Make sure that you attach that information. All this information is searchable by Google, so you want to give as much information, and using a location tag, Google is going to trust that information, and there's a chance they might share your event a little bit more than normal. Find customers with searching. You can do that with Twitter, is what I'm talking about here mostly. If you've got Twitter and you're using Twitter, I would say go and Google how to search a location. It will show you how to write a little bit of code, and you will use a service like Hootsuite, and you will go in and you will say that you want a certain radius around, and this sounds really geeky, X and Y coordinates, and you have to type them in. It's a long number for an X and Y coordinate, but you can Google how to do this, and you can go in there and you can put that information in, and then you can look for anybody looking for either a certain service or they're talking about either services or they're talking about products. I do that for a food truck company that I work with, and we would do it around Falcon games and stuff like that. And I would put in certain hashtags to look for, and I would do it around the stadium, and we would be able to see people in that area talking about going to the Falcons game. And I could jump in on the conversation and I could say, hey, when you're at the game, swing by our food truck. We're going to be there today. And so it's a great way to reach out to people. I had a lady that had a scarf company and she sold scarves. I would Google, she actually was across the country, so I didn't have to do a geographic area, but I could do a hashtag, and I could do the geographic area of the US, which is her main target area. And I could see people, saying, oh, I threw a scarf on this morning and I'm heading out the door. I didn't have time to put my hair up or whatever. And I would see tweets like that all the time. And I would always jump in on that tweet and I would say, hey, here's a wonderful line of scarves. Check them out. I'd say for that next bad hair day or whatever, here's a wonderful line of scarves. Check it out. And people would write back and say, oh, these scarves are so cool. I didn't even know they existed. So it's a great way to reach out to people, find customers with a search. And all those examples were using Twitter. Another thing is make sure you use hashtags. Hashtags on Facebook, so. I wouldn't worry about it so much. But hashtags on Twitter, hashtags on Instagram, super important. You can put a ton of hashtags on Instagram. If you don't know how to do that, there's a little trick where you space down quite a few spaces and you put like 25 hashtags in. And those should be the hashtags that really identify your business. And by spacing down, people don't see all the hashtags in your post. So that's just a little trick that you can use. Also, use 3 hashtags on every post you do on LinkedIn. Using hashtags on LinkedIn is very important. So 3, don't use 10, 25 or whatever like you can do on Instagram, but 3. And I always do the same thing. I space down about 2 or 3 spaces and then put my hashtags in so people don't see all the hashtags. So this was the 3 things that I was talking about earlier that I think is so cool, and I do it in every promotion I do. I first tell them about the promotion, then I remind them about the promotion, and then I say, hey, this is the last chance. And when I was telling you about the dinners that I do for the charity, I would announce it, I would remind them, and when I got to the last chance, if we had sold 100 dinners or maybe 120 dinners at that point, when I would say last chance, we would sell almost another 60 dinners in a 24-hour period because it was truly the last chance to take advantage of this dinner. And so this is a great system to use. With what we did with the charities and stuff, we would usually start 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out. So there would be some additional little reminders in there on social media and different things, but this applies to sending email blasts. It applies to social media blasts. It applies to everything you're doing. You should have at least 3 different posts that basically tell them about it, remind them, and then tell them it's the last chance. Very, very important to do. Constant Contact, I just want to jump in real quick about something they do that I love. They create a ton of templates for you already. So when you're coming up to Thanksgiving and you want to tell people a week out about your Black Friday sale coming up after Thanksgiving, you could use something like this first one. As you get into Christmas, maybe you have an event coming up, you can use this other seasonal event template. And over here is more of a Spanish style template. Of course, you can go in and change any of this stuff. You can pop your own logos in. It's very, very easy to do. All you have to do is click, change the text, super easy, but it saves you a lot of time when you go ahead and use a template that's already available. This is another thing. I told you about 3 things earlier about, tell them about the event, remind them about the event, and then give them the last chance. Now, when you're putting your offer together, there's 3 things to remember also. One is the headline is super, super important. You want to grab their attention. You want to keep it brief. Also, the message, you want to keep it short and concise, very simple, very concise message. And then what they need to do, the action they need to be taking. So you can see here's the headline. Then you've got your offer. And then in this case, instead of just buy now, because we're talking about the holidays, they suggest buying for a friend. So those are all things that you can do. Short, sweet. You could probably, starting from scratch, do something like this maybe in 15 minutes. If you're used to using this is something out of Constant Contact. If you're used to using their tools, it'd probably take you 5 minutes. If you go ahead and pencil out your headline and know exactly what you want to say, and then click to buy and send people right to the shopping cart, where you want them to go. Determining their interests. I mentioned this last Friday, and I think a lot of people maybe heard it for the first time, but I want to talk about it again. And that is the fact that you can segment your audience. You want to send to people information that they want. Always sending out the same information to everybody can actually hurt your open rate, and it's not really recommended to do. The more you can segment your audience and learn about your customers, the better. So anytime you put a link in, like a click here link or an order now link, you have a little box here where you're putting the link in up here. You have a little box here that you click to enable segmentation. Now in this one, this ice cream shop said, if someone clicks this link to try a new item, then put them in the VIP flavor tasters. In other words, these people are willing to taste new flavors. So anytime now you come out with new flavors, you might have a group of people that you want to send to first and tell them about the new flavors. Because for one thing, they're going to go out and tell their friends about the new flavors once they've tried them. That's just an example. But you want to start using this box here to learn about what people are buying. So if you have the easiest example is to say a pet store, and you have dog people and cat people. You can segment when someone clicks on a dog item that's a dog person. You can segment them when they click on a cat item that's a cat person. So maybe you have a couple of different types. Maybe you have male, female items. Start tracking who's clicking on what. Now, it could get a little crisscross because maybe someone's buying a gift item for their wife, but that's not too big of a deal. They're still interested in that particular item. So sending them more items later, they might buy more gifts for their wife, so that's always something, to think about. Once again, we get into that whole idea about how do you do this stuff via email. Same type of thing. You announce it, you remind them, and then you give them a last chance reminder. All of these things, and this is another Cyber Monday offer here, so it's finally Cyber Monday. This is your last chance. I talked a little bit about holiday gift guides, but getting you found online. A holiday gift guide could help you get found online, because if you put it together properly, it's more text, it's more information about your business, it's more about what you carry, it's more information for Google to know and learn about you. So having that type of information is a fantastic thing, and having it on your website almost like an extra blog post or something like that can also be very, very helpful. Look at trends that are happening right now. What's going on in your business space. If you have a particular type of business, I know Kim has the body bars, which she's changing up a few things on. She's going to want to let people know the change is coming. She's going to want to be ahead of that. She's going to want to maybe tease them with a few things coming up. So, think about what's happening, what trends are going on. I helped a client one time. He sells Christmas trees, but he also decorates houses and decorates businesses and sets up large Christmas trees in large office buildings. So he has a lot of things that he does. One of the things he wanted to do was to help people find him. So we created a whole series of videos for at Christmas how to put a tree stand on. There's his way of putting a tree stand on and my way of putting a tree stand on were two totally different things, and he definitely had the better way of doing it. And so just little tips like that: how to put the tree stand on, how to get the tree in the house, how to decorate the tree, how to put lights up around the outside of the house, how to decorate bushes with lights. We made a whole series of these videos, and we quickly found out which videos were more popular. And so that gives him ideas of what other social media materials he can create and put on Facebook and put on Twitter and put on his Instagram account. Look at recipes. You can see here in this example, they sent a recipe out for the holidays. Give people something of value that they really want in your email marketing. So sending some recipes out has nothing, well, it does because they're a food business, but I've known audiologists. She always ended her email with some type of quick little simple recipe that you could do in about 15 or 20 minutes. And people love that. Her clientele loved the fact that she always included a little bit of a personal side of her in her newsletters that she sent out. And of course, this time of year, holiday safety tips are another thing you can put in an email blast. But you notice they're giving the tips and they're giving you recipes up here, but down here is their offer. So they're still getting that offer in there, but it's not just sell, sell, sell. They're giving you something of value, and they're also helping you save money. So let's jump into how to amplify things. We've got lead ads that you can do. And, I'm a big believer in Facebook ads. Sadly, what you can do on Facebook now organically is next to nothing. So lead ads are a great way to go. You can tell it's a lead ad because at the bottom, it says sign up. And that's because you have a call to action. The ad, they have to do something to get that 15%. So usually they have to give you a little bit of information like their email address in order to get that. And you can have that put directly into Constant Contact, so you don't have to do anything. It sends them the promo code, everything they need to get their bicycle for 15% off. But now you've also had put right into Constant Contact using lead ads. You have it put directly their contact information. So the next time you send out a newsletter, they're going to get it. Facebook and Instagram, you can shop. There's a shop now button here. So it's a great way to do that. So through Constant Contact, you can do lead ads, you can do Facebook ads, you can also do Google AdWords through Constant Contact now. You don't need to log into Facebook, you don't need to log into Google and into your business account. All of these things can be connected right in Constant Contact. They're going to step you through how to build the ad. They're going to step you through how to find the best keywords and things like that. And you're going to be ready to go and have your ads up and running. Here's a little calendar. I will send this out to everybody. I'm going to send my presentation out to everybody. But there's a lot of information on this calendar. I could talk about it a lot, but you can see it's color-coded. You've got emails, you've got social media, you've got ads. These are just some ideas of things that you might want to be doing and how to maybe plan your promotional calendars going forward into 2021. So I'm almost done. We're almost to the hour here. I'm going to probably breeze through a couple of slides really quickly, but I want to talk about, you're on a roll, you've gotten through the holidays, you've probably taken a little bit of a breath, but it's time to really start thinking about next year and kicking things off. Very first thing is it's New Year. So what can you offer for the new year? Start thinking about that now. Start planning for that now. And I say pull a calendar out and start looking at all the major holidays coming up that you want to promote and be a part of. Don't forget to share this information on your website. make sure your listings and reviews are up to date, and that all that's taken place, you know, because your holiday hours are now going to change back to regular hours. So you want to make sure you change those things back. Make sure your social media posts are sharing all of this, email campaigns, and of course, your paid ads. So we've talked about email, we've talked about ads, we've talked about social. You know, you want to review, once these campaigns are done, you want to really sit down and review them, you know, so make sure you do that. You want to look at how many clicks your ads are getting, how many people actually signed up, you know, from your ad. Maybe you got a bunch of clicks, but you didn't get a lot of sign up. The thing I love about social ads, you can stop them. You can stop those Facebook ads. If they're not getting the results you want, you maybe spent $5, $6 and nothing's happening, stop it. Or maybe you're getting a bunch of clicks, but nobody's signing up. Think about changing that offer a little bit to get them off the fence and into purchasing. And then review which posts and tweets get the most interaction. And I always say, repeat and rinse, if you want to say it that way. You know, once you find something that works, use it, you know, vary it a little bit, but use it over and over again. I'm going to skip through this, but it will be in your presentation. This is ways to segment, which is that little box that I showed you that you check and send people into different lists from your email. You know, but you want to start, you know, planning for your marketing now for the new year, no matter what it is. You know, start now. I want you actually to start looking. First of all, I want you to take, when we wrap up today, I want you to print out the marketing checklist, and I want you to start working on that. The PDF that you have is going to have a bunch of great links in it. The links will actually allow you to learn even more about the item that you're looking at. So make sure you click on those various links that are in the PDF also. Print it out, but make sure you click on it. You know, plan your social media around future holidays. I said that, events, promos. Maybe you've got an anniversary coming up. Maybe it's a big, you know, 10-year anniversary, 25-year anniversary of your business. Make sure you hype that up for months leading up to it. You don't want to miss out on these special events that are happening for you and your business. So, are you ready for the holiday season? I sure hope that I helped inspired you to get ready for it. You know, it just takes a little bit of time. Use that marketing checklist that's in the notes, and I'm going to post it again at the bottom so it'll be easier to find. Make sure, you know, you go back. This presentation is going to be available. You can go back and watch it again to pick up some more notes or pick up some more tips that you might have missed because I was talking awful fast. And take advantage, you know, of post-holiday spending. A lot of people miss out on after the holidays. People are still spending money. Maybe people received money for the holidays. You never know. So make sure you take advantage of that. So let's use everything that we can to our advantage this holiday season. Email, websites, social media management. Something I didn't really talk about in this social media management is, once again, from Constant Contact, you can post on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, all from Constant Contact. So it is your one source for being able to do all these things now. I love it. They've made it really small business friendly. You can create your own logo if you need to update your logo. You can create logos in Constant Contact now, and of course you can have e-commerce. So I want to, it's in the links, and I'm going to close this now. Stop sharing. And I'm going to post in the chat real quick one more time all my links so that you have them. Well, I will say see you later, and y'all have a great rest of the day and a great week.
You
Have a
too.
great day.
Thank you so
Take care.
much.
Be well, be safe.
All right, you too.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.